Recording now. So hopefully you all are in the right spot. This is for the study abroad presentation for E3P majors. My name is Derek Shepard. I work in the study abroad office. Thank you for joining us for Study Abroad Week. We've got a whole host of different presentations going on throughout the week. So please check our website for all of that information. I'm also joined by my colleague, Susan Cohen, who's Director Cohen, many titles, who will be sharing a little bit about some of the program offerings that we have as well for our field sites. So thank you all for coming. Let's go ahead and kind of kick it off. So kind of what are the benefits for study abroad? We'll kind of be talking about those, and Susan will definitely speak to it more with the field sites, but really an opportunity to gain real world experience tied to your career path. So especially with our field sites, getting out there, working, if you're a kinesthetic learner, if you work better with kind of getting your hands dirty and experiential education, definitely consider some of the field site opportunities. There's also a great opportunity just to get to kind of know a professor or professors out there. So really great to have that mentorship, create that bond, especially if you are interested in going into academia or even a career path as well. Having a recommendation or somebody that you connect with and give you some career guidance is always great. Also a great opportunity to develop cross-cultural competency, opens up a wealth of opportunities that way. We do have domestic field sites, but we also have different field sites internationally as well. I think one of the, we're not going to talk about in this one too, but one that I'm involved with is our Thailand field site that we have. It's a spring and summer opportunity to go over to Thailand, where you take classes during the semester and then work in the summer doing research in a group, usually for publication. A lot of our students come back and will publish too. So we've got a lot of opportunities where you don't just have to be in the US, but you can be elsewhere across the globe. And of course, building skills and traits and things that will help you when it comes to finding a job or, you know, kind of parlaying that into some other kind of future career path as well. So a lot of benefits to study abroad, and especially doing an E3P type of study abroad. Recommended programs. So we've got the UNC Environmental Studies in Galapagos. It is going this summer. Susan, do you want to say a little bit more about this? You probably know a little bit more about this than I do.
Really, it's great. We skipped last year because of COVID, and it was sad. I actually teach the lab, and Jay and Sixto, Dr. Sixto from USFQ, which is the partner university, University of San Francisco de Quito, co-teaches it, and it's an amazing program. I can't really comment though, Derek, on like the course credits and like what they satisfy.
Yeah.
But the trips are extraordinary. The Galapagos is extraordinary. It is unlike anything else.
That's awesome. No, that's great. And we also even have the course credits on here too. So, and I think students take the 2 classes for 6 credits. So, but I think we've got them listed on here. So you actually know, we'll talk a little bit about some of the kind of how credit works and whatnot in a little bit. But this is nice because it's basically like taking a class at UNC, but you're taking it abroad. So the class that you get will come back and I'll show ENAC 324. It will impact your UNC GPA and show on there as a letter grade. So you don't even have to go through the credit transfer process as well. So it's really kind of a smooth program. You're just going to be with other UNC students on this as well. And we'll talk more about kind of what a UNC faculty-led program is too. So, all right, I'll pass it over to Susan. I'm going to do a lot of talking in the back end of this, but for the next few slides, I'll let her kind of talk about our field sites.
Definitely. Thank you, Derek. Okay, so let's see. I did not look at your slide deck first, so let's see what's next on this.
Yeah.
I was hoping. No, I should have sent you the map slide.
I've got the master one if you want to start here. We're just
awesome. Yeah, let's start here, actually. That's perfect. And then we'll work our way backwards.
Yeah.
So there are 3 domestic field sites, and they are collaboratively run between Study Abroad and the Institute for the Environment and E3P. And we all support each other because it takes a tremendous amount to run these sites. There's 3 of them. There's one in the Highlands, and that is deep in the Nantahala National Forest. And there's one in the Outer Banks in Manio. And I'll tell you a little bit more about all these. I just want you to get like a feel for where they sit in the state. And the one in Morehead City, of course, is at the Institute for Marine Science. And they are domestic field sites, but you are so immersed, it almost feels like you're in another country. I mean, that's a little extreme, but you don't feel like you're just in another city doing the exact same thing that you would be doing on campus. You are immersed in research and internships and capstone projects, but you can cruise back home on the weekend for a basketball game or something like that. I guess it'd be football during the semester. I guess I just gave my sports knowledge away there. So we'll start with whichever one was first, then getting in your slide deck back on order. So the Outer Banks is run by Lindsay Dubs. She is there full-time, like all the field site directors are. So you get to take advantage of their research networks and their internship network. So Lindsay's been on the coast for years, so she knows everybody. So your internships can be at anything from an environmental law firm to a sea turtle hospital. It is the gamut, and she specializes in energy, clean energy and policy and the social aspects of it. And in fact, last year she won an award for being a leading woman in US clean energy in both research and applications to management. The classes will, I think they are 17 credits in total. You'll do an internship, you'll do a capstone, so you'll knock out your capstone requirement, and then you'll take 3 other classes in addition to a semester. And like all the field sites, you spend over half your time outside. Conditions don't really matter when you're a researcher, right? You got to go out there and collect your data. And there's just an extraordinary list of field trips too. So the scholarships are available mid-August to mid-December. That's for all the domestic field sites. And the tuition is about the same as it is on campus. So you are not committing to sort of a significantly higher cost for that semester. So let's see which one is next. The Highlands. The Highlands is beautiful, y'all. It is located at the Highlands Biological Station, which has been in Highlands, North Carolina for about 100 years. It is based in biodiversity and conservation and ecology. And you will spend more time in the mountains hiking and clambering around rocks and going on river trips than you will in a classroom at this site. Your field site director is a woman named Rhoda Petrick. She is a specialist in small mammals and bats. I keep telling her to start a lab called the SMAB lab, but she won't do it because it'd be the perfect name. So you will be up at night catching bats and tagging them. Your internship could be anything from surveying owls to looking for salamanders in streams. The capstone project this year was microplastics. So they take a real look at the impact of humans on the landscape here. So there's this overarching theme at the site. So Outer Banks was clean energy and policy. You get a little bit of ecology everywhere, of course. And Highlands is more about biodiversity and conservation and what we call the Anthropocene, right? We're in this period of time where humans are impacting everything around them. So that's really their focus, and that remote sensing class touches on that a little bit. So you'll do an internship and a capstone again, and then take 3 courses and a seminar for 17 credits. And in this particular case, you actually live on site, and it's pretty neat. All right, let's see, our last one is Morehead City Field Site, and the director here is Tony Rodriguez. So anybody doing a minor in marine science will know Tony and will know about IMS, and if you don't yet, you will, because that's where the Morehead City Field Site is hosted. You don't do an internship here. Instead, you do an independent research project in addition to your capstone project. IMS is probably more trenched in research than any of the other sites. It has an extraordinary record of amazing marine science research. So if that is your thing, this is probably a site that you'd be interested in. You can satisfy a minor at this site, your marine science minor, but you do not have to be a marine science person to go to this field site, nor do you have to be a mountain person to go to the mountain field site, right? The idea is to kind of get you outside of your comfort zone and challenge you a little bit in these immersive experiences that really have you in the field conducting real world research. Other than the shift from independent research from an internship, the layout's the same, right? Mid-August to mid-December, it follows the regular semester. The costs are about the same, and there's scholarship money available also for this field site. And I'm not sure what's left.
No, I think that's it. Thanks, Susan. Unless you have anything else, that's a lot.
Just that we will have an info session on November 22nd from 4 to 5. And that is to actually ask the field site directors questions. They'll all be there, and we can really dig into like what the classes are actually like and talk about the field trips and stuff like that.
Perfect. No, thank you so much, Susan, for that.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And as you can all see here, we are now accepting applications. So our applications for summer and fall just opened up today. So you can actually go to our website. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit, but you can actually apply to this program already too, if you're interested. So awesome. Thank you again. These are some kind of featured summer programs as well. So what Susan and I just talked about here are faculty-led programs. And on our site, you'll see a UNC in front of that. That means it's faculty-led program with a professor or professors from UNC. But we also have partner provider programs. So you might have heard of like SFS or SIT. These are partner providers that host programs worldwide. So if you are interested in doing a study abroad program, they also do fall programs as well, but these are some summer ones. You can go to our website, our study abroad website, and find programs there through SFS or even through SFS and SIT's website. You can do a Google search as well. They've got a lot of programs that are really good when it comes to ecology and energy and all things kind of E3P related. So they tend to be a lot more expensive. So just kind of letting you know that up front. If you're an out-of-state student, it's definitely cost effective to do something like this for a semester. If you're an in-state student, it's a little bit more expensive, but we do have scholarships, and we'll talk a little bit more about that too. So. Yeah, and these are some of our featured semester programs. So if any of you are looking at a semester, not just kind of in the States, but elsewhere, these are some universities to go. Australia and New Zealand, we hope will open up pretty soon here. We haven't been able to send anybody there. I used to advise for this region in our office. Haven't been able to send anybody there since the pandemic since the pandemic started, excuse me. But we're hearing that things may be opening up soon. So if you're planning ahead and are looking at this coming fall or beyond, definitely think about Australia and New Zealand. Of course, we've got Quito, we've got other places too, SFS here. So these are some places that you might want to kind of think about. All right, academics and credit. If you have any questions along the way, feel free to chime in. Otherwise, we'll have some time at the end to ask questions too. So while you're abroad, you can earn elective credit, general education, major, minor. You automatically get your EE when you study abroad, even if that's domestic. If you do a domestic field site, you will automatically get that gen ed knocked out of the way. We require that students maintain their full-time status as a student if they go abroad during a semester. So that's between 12 to 18 UNC credits. And in the summertime, students usually take about 6 credits over the summertime, although some programs are more, and there are some programs we offer that are just 3 credits as well. So the type of credit you get just depends on kind of the course content. And as I mentioned, those faculty-led programs that Susan and others lead, those are in charge of, they will come back as UNC credit. You don't have to go through the credit transfer process. You will have to do that for some of the other programs too. You can make an appointment to meet with myself. I'm one of 3 study abroad advisors in our office. We also encourage you to meet with your academic advisor just to discuss your career plans and your academic plans too, to make sure that you're on time for graduation too. We actually have a new thing at our website too. We have a list of pre-approved courses. So if you haven't checked that out, please go there. It's been a huge collaboration with our office and a number of other offices around campus. A lot of the questions we get from students are, what kind of credit can I earn? How much does the program cost? So nowadays we have a lot of programs that have pre-approved courses. If you don't find pre-approved courses on there, that's okay as well. It means we haven't approved anything yet too. Yeah, I can put that up in a little bit. Right now, Caroline, I'm streaming this, so it's probably going to be a little more challenging. If someone else can do that as well. Otherwise, you can just go to our website too. It's under the credit section, listing of pre-approved courses. So studyabroad.unc.edu. You can also do a Google search for it too. So yep, and then yeah, check it. There our academics abroad on our website. That's where you can find this information too. Our program costs. There is financial aid and scholarship. Your financial aid package and scholarships go with you when you go abroad for the semester. In the summertime, it's usually loans and scholarships. So kind of keep that in mind. It's definitely beneficial to study abroad during the, thanks, Claudia. It's definitely beneficial to study abroad during a semester, especially if you are a Covenant scholar. Your Covenant package will not go with you in the summertime, but it will go with you during the academic term. The only thing, academic year, the only exception would be any kind of work study funding that will not be able to go with you when you go abroad. But usually OSA can do some other stuff to kind of offset that too. My colleague in our office is Sharon Beers. She also works with Office of Scholarships and Student Aid. You can make an appointment to meet with her as well through our site. So you can go to our website and do that. Or you can just email her at fa_studyabroad@unc.edu and include the information here, and she can get back to you. If you're curious to know how much a program costs, that information is available on we have an estimated budget on our brochure pages. So you can go there. And then speaking with Sharon, she can let you know a little bit about what your financial aid package is and how you might be able to kind of cover that program too. So she can give you an estimated budget that way. So definitely recommend connecting with her, especially if you have questions that way. All right, how to apply? As I mentioned, our application process is open right now. Usually we like students to come to a Study Abroad 101 session, but it's not a requirement. You can go to our website too. And we've got these short videos of a couple minutes long of YouTube videos that can just walk you through every aspect of Study Abroad. So I would encourage you to check those out first. But after you do that, you can make an advising appointment with myself or one of the other two advisors. We are regionally focused. So if you are going to, in my region, it's Asia, Africa, Middle East, domestic, and Russia in there. Oh, and Scandinavia. So I would be the person you would meet with if you're interested in going to those places. It's not required that you meet with us, but we, do email us if you have any questions, and we're happy to help you out through that process. My colleagues advise for other regions too, and you can find that information there. Yep, and then you kind of complete an application. So our spring application cycle has already ended, so we're getting ready to send students there. We've already kind of done our pre-departure stuff for them. Now our summer and fall is opened up. So if you're applying or interested in going of summer 2022 or fall 2022, you can complete an application. They close on February 10th, so make sure to get an application in before that time. Most of our applications, it's just we've done away with letters of recommendation. We want to make it kind of easier for students to go abroad, and we understand it's difficult to connect with professors right now during a pandemic too. So it's a $50 non-refundable application fee, and then some short answer questions just to get to know you a little bit better, make sure the program is a good fit. Some programs are competitive, but I would say most in my region are not, but it'll indicate that on the site as well. And then some programs, if they're not a faculty-led program, they'll have a host application, and then we'll have you complete that host application, and they'll give you final acceptance. In my almost 5 years of doing this, I've never nominated a student to a host partner or partner program or institution and had them be rejected. So it's just a matter of completing that too. Yep, and as Susan said, domestic sites fill up fast too. So I would say that some of the programs, whether that be our faculty-led ones here or some of the partner providers, they can fill up. They have limited space, so you might want to get applying to those sooner rather than later for sure. Some of our exchange programs, that's not the case, but yeah. And then, you'll sign the study abroad contract. If you're interested in going in the summer or fall, that contract will be signed in mid-March. So that kind of locks you into the program. You can find this information on our site as well. And then we'll have a pre-departure orientation to kind of send you off on your way. We also do some kind of re-entry stuff when you come back too. So that's what it looks like. I talked a little bit about already what's on an application, but this gives you an idea in more depth. Usually, if it's a faculty-led program, we'll ask for an unofficial transcript. If it's an exchange program or partner provider program, then it's an official transcript, in which case they're $10 to $15 that you can order through I believe it's the registrar for that. So there's information on it too. So that's kind of what an application looks like. I've had students complete it in a few hours or in a day, and some students take a little bit longer too. So totally up to you on what you want to do that way. I mentioned our application cycles, but this is just to kind of reiterate that. The next big one here just opened today, and so summer, fall academic year, this is the time to apply. You can open up an application on our website there. Some program dates vary on they might close a little bit early. I'm trying to think for spring we do, but for summer, fall academic year, I think everything's going to be February 10th. But as Susan mentioned, if you're interested in the fall field sites, it might be good to get an application in soon. Yeah, keep in mind, applying to a program is not committing to it. You're just out a $50 application fee. It's not refundable if you apply and then you decide later on you don't want to. Mid-November, mid-March, March 15th or so is when you kind of commit to that kind of summer or fall program. So keep that in mind. Our website, I know somebody asked about credit information and pre-approved courses. Definitely check out our website, studyabroad.unc.edu. We've got a bunch of different tabs on there. You can go academic resources, scholarship information for your parents. So if your parents have questions, they can go there as well. Check that out. These are two of our students that studied abroad actually in South Korea during the fall of 2020, actually. Yeah, so a while ago, they studied abroad. So yeah. Also, when you apply, you'll go to kind of healsabroad.unc.edu. This is kind of our program portal. This is where you'll fill out an application, et cetera, in addition to finding programs that you want to search through. And then there'll be an apply now button on each brochure page that you can do. This is kind of our search tool. I actually prefer the simple search because sometimes when you put in a bunch of different search criteria and the advanced search, which is what this is, then sometimes it doesn't kind of come out the way you want. It says no programs, but this is helpful if you want to kind of go down. You can see program features. If you want to just look for field study or just look for internships, you can just select that one, select the term, et cetera, and then a bunch of things will populate there. If nothing populates, then you might want to change your search criteria around a little bit, but we've got, I think, around 300-400 programs in our database. So there's a lot of programs that we have. Any questions, just reach out to myself or another study abroad advisor as well. So, all right, health and safety. We've actually been sending students abroad in study abroad since the pandemic. So we had to have students come back in the spring of 2020 when everything happened in kind of March, April for a lot of you. For me, I've been dealing with the pandemic since January of 2020 with our programs in China and then South Korea and Japan, et cetera. But we've actually been able to send students kind of to a lot of places throughout the pandemic, kind of uninterrupted, and South Korea being one of them in my region too, but certainly in Denmark and other countries that we have too, we've been able to send students. A lot of these places are opening up even more right now. I think at one point in fall of 2020, we had maybe 13 countries, and now we're at 35 or so that have been approved for spring. So as the people get vaccinated and the pandemic improves some, hopefully, then other places will open up. There's a process that we have to go through of getting programs approved, getting provost approval. We're only sending students to places that we feel we've done a good enough risk analysis and feel safe sending students. And so that's kind of what we look at as well. But we're in constant touch with our partners over there. Rest assured that we have done our due diligence as best as we can to make sure that you have all the information and that are able to study abroad in a safe location as well. So even our domestic field sites and other places too, are taking really good measures to make sure that whether that be testing or vaccinations or just kind of protocols are in place too. So yeah, I would say a lot of places, especially moving forward, your classes are going to be in person. But by no means is that a guarantee. Some places will have a hybrid, in-person, online. I know I'm sending students to Singapore in the spring, and a lot of their classes they'll be able to enter Singapore, but their classes may be online, especially for the larger classes, and some of the smaller ones, they might be in person. So we're still kind of, navigating that, and each country depends a little bit differently. In Denmark, for example, classes will be in person. So, keep that in mind. If you have any questions about, and some students are like, hey, I don't want to be taking online classes, that's fair enough. Even if you're in the country, we can do our best to try to guide you to programs that maybe that won't be the case. Stay in touch. So if you haven't checked out our website, there's we have Instagram, we have Facebook, we have Twitter. So definitely follow us on all of our social media platforms. We've got a frequently asked questions section on our website as well, in addition to timeline. Check that out. We'd love for you to follow us and stay in touch. All right, so I don't think I have students coming for this one, so we'll pass on. Any questions from any of you all? For myself or for Dr. Cohen?
So Derek, while you're maybe waiting on a question,
Yeah.
I forgot to re-emphasize what you mentioned earlier about the opportunity to make connections for the UNC-led programs, to make connections with UNC professors. And you're not going to a field site just to make a connection with the professor to write your recommendation, but that is an outcome of going to one of the domestic and other UNC field sites. These professors get to know you. I mean, you see them every day, and you work on their research, and you talk about important environmental topics with them. Just every day, you'll find yourself with all these scientists and researchers, and they'll get to know you a lot better than any of your other professors, and they'll write you these really personal letters that are really important to getting you opportunities with jobs and internships and things like that. So that is a really nice sort of side benefit, is the networking that you do both with the professor and with their networks. You just, every link they have becomes a link that you have. So from that perspective, it's also a great program.
No, that's great. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And if you have any questions too, I think I mentioned you can type in chat or let us know here, or feel free to take off. I know that I think we might have another 4:30 Zoom going on as well. So if you've got other stuff you need to go to, otherwise we'll stick around here for a little bit and answer any questions you have. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, whoever's raised their hand, please go ahead and ask if that's the thing.
Hi, yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
So I'm an environmental science major, but on the smart cities track. So I really want to do something. I'm gonna turn my camera on. I really want to do something with planning, something of that nature. And I know there's a program in Denmark, but do you know of any other programs with a similar focus? I saw some things in Korea and Sweden, but I don't know if that's like a curricular focus.
And say again, Simone, what was your focus? Sorry, it cut out for me. Apologize.
No, it's okay. Urban planning or like environmental resilience, stuff like that.
I don't know, to be honest with you, I don't know specifically, but I imagine they would have some classes, you know, at some of the universities. If you're looking at, say, University of Copenhagen in Denmark, or even like, you know, Korea University, Yonsei, or Seoul National in Korea. I mean, these are larger universities, so there's a good chance they would offer some classes in that. Now, they wouldn't be necessarily a specialized kind of program in, say, urban development or things like that. And Copenhagen would be a really good spot if you want to go for urban development. I think that's an excellent, we've had somebody in our office that did study abroad there too. So you'd be able to take classes probably, or there might be some offerings, but it wouldn't be as maybe niche of a program as, say, maybe like a field site or doing something that way, you know?
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Great question.
Simone, I get the feeling you want to go abroad, which is awesome. But I will tell you locally, and this is not a study abroad program, but just as an aside, even for some spring to tuck it away, is the Sustainable Triangle Field Site that the Institute for the Environment also runs, and it is run within the college. It is 3 classes that tend to deal with sustainability and planning. You get to pick your classes there, and then you do a capstone project with the group. You do an internship, and it's led by Mike Peeler, who's the Chief Sustainability Officer for the university. So, and it's also led by Sustainable Carolina, like that's the group. It may not be a perfect fit either, and it may just be sort of a nice opportunity in addition to going somewhere delightful, because you can do more than 1 semester, right? You can fill your 4 years with awesome semesters abroad if you can figure out how to do it. But that may be a nice option if you don't find what you're looking for in planning, and then go abroad for some other wonderful thing out there. But that's coming up in the spring. That's a Sustainable Triangle Field Site's only in the spring.
Okay, thank you for letting me know. That sounds like